Okay, this is gonna be number
that had
3.
erupted within their sanctuary.
I just put
The
my
air, thick with
dragon
the smell of ozone and
outside
Nina's
to
neutralized
sleep,
acid,
not
hung with the quiet,
permanent
frantic
sleep.
energy of recovery.
Dumbasses.
They worked with a
Sorry.
grim,
See,
practiced efficiency that spoke
dragon.
volumes of their new reality.
This is
Ochako,
Rlcraft 3.
directed the cleanup.
Let's go. Let's see if I could get another
Removal of
dragon.
massive debris slabs
Yay.
asylum.
Oh, my
Smell
body
air.
hurts.
The scout general methodically swept the villa and its grounds, ensuring no enemy stragglers or hidden explosives remained. Mirko, patched in via a secure holographic feed from her agency, coordinated with Nezu,
Pumpkin
giving
is
him a
really
carefully
good.
redacted report that confirmed a major security incident,
But
while
don't
omitting
get
the damning
few.
details of
Still
captured
good.
hostiles. Their prisoners were secured in the villa's sub-level, in holding cells designed for detaining villains with powerful quirks. The
Yes,
five unconscious
hello.
soldiers were stripped of their gear and sedated.
Hello.
Their leader, Zealot, was another matter entirely. The hardened
I know you
polymer
do that
Momo
for
had encased her
intimidation,
and
but
was
it's
moved to the
pretty.
most secure cell, where it stood like a grotesque statue, a monument to their hard-won victory. The weight of what they had done settled upon them. They were no longer just students defending their home. They had engaged a military force and taken prisoners. They had crossed a line, and there was no going back. The first attempt at interrogation was a resounding failure. They allowed Zealot's cocoon to partially dissolve, freeing her head and torso. She was chained to the wall with quirk-suppressing restraints, but her spirit was utterly unbound. Izuku faced her, with Nina standing guard at his side, the Hearthwarden's presence a silent, protective warmth.
Okay, I need more.
Your name is Zealot, Izuku began, his voice calm and even. You are a member of the organization that calls itself the Ascendants. We want to know who you work for. What are your objectives? Who is your leader? Zealot looked at him, and her eyes, the only part of her face visible through her shattered helmet, burned with a cold, ecstatic fire. She didn't see a student. She saw a demon. She began to laugh, a dry, rattling sound that held no humor, only pity. You asked for the names of your surgeons, disease. She hissed, her voice dripping with contempt. You do not ask the storm for its reasons, or the fire for its purpose. We are the cure, the righteous flame that will cleanse the world of your soul plague.
This has not one, not two, not three, but 4 cameras that record and store.
The righteous flame that will cleanse the world of your soul plague. My name is a prayer. My objective is a holy sacrament. And my leader is the hand of humanity's salvation. She then began to chant, a low, guttural litany in a language Izuku didn't recognize. It was a string of condemnations, of prayers for his eradication. It was clear they would get nothing from her. She was a fanatic, her mind a fortress of absolute belief. No threat, no offer, no psychological trick could breach those walls. They left her chanting in the dim light of her cell, the sound a chilling testament to the nature of their new enemy. Her will is absolute.
I knew it was somewhere, but not down there.
They ascended back to the command center. Her quirk, conviction, makes
go
her
back
mind
here.
unassailable. We can't break her. Then we go around her, a determined voice said. Kyoka Jiro stood before the holographic table, her expression one of intense focus. She had the captured Ascendant gear laid out on an analysis platform. Every piece of technology has a story to tell. And this stuff, it's practically screaming. The focus of their war shifted from the holding cells to the laboratory. For the next 72 hours, the command center became the nexus of their hunt.
Yes, I'm listening to an
warden of
AU.
whispers and Momo's chanting.
Bite me.
They began the painstaking process of dissecting the enemy's technology. It was a digital and archaeological dig into the very soul of the Ascendants. The outer layers were standard, high-grade, military tech. Encrypted communicators, sophisticated sensors, powerful but conventional weaponry. But as they delved deeper, they began to find anomalies. The power cores for the soldiers' armor were of a design that was decades ahead of anything on the public or black market. The materials used were complex alloys that Momo, with all her knowledge, couldn't immediately identify. The true breakthrough came from the data drive salvaged from Zealot's own armor. It was a nightmare of quantum encryption and lethal anti-tampering software. It took the full processing power of the Villa's servers, guided by Momo's strategic intellect and Jiro's intuitive genius with systems.
Jesus.
To even begin to crack it. When they finally bypassed the last firewall, they expected to find tactical data. enemy locations,
6.
mission
Jeez,
parameters,
dude, this
troop
is
rosters.
easy to wear, and
What they
I
found was a
desperately
library,
need armor.
a secret history of the world.
Protection.
What is this?
Protection
Ochanko
3.
whispered,
Damn.
her eyes wide as she stared at the holographic display. It wasn't a modern database. It was a collection of ancient texts, of fragmented historical records, of what looked like illuminated manuscripts, all digitized and preserved. The language was
Okay,
archaic,
it's
a
more
Proto-Japanese mixed with characters from other, long-dead tongues. Running a translation algorithm, Momo murmured, her fingers flying across the console. This is thousands of years of data. The first translated texts began to scroll across the screen, and a chilling new narrative of their world began to unfold. They spoke of a recurring phenomenon, a genetic anomaly the texts referred to in a dozen different ways: the god seed, the chorus, the resonant soul. The ascendants. Modern terminology was more clinical, a sovereign class primal quirk. The texts described individuals who would appear throughout history, born with the innate ability to project their will, to inspire absolute loyalty, to create unbreakable bonds,
not
to
right
form
now,
a
at
chorus
least.
around themselves. They were not just
This, on
leaders,
the other
they were
hand,
living
I might
nexuses of
be able to
human
deal
potential,
with.
their presence capable of amplifying the abilities of those loyal to them. Izuku, Mina breathed,
Take a rest.
her hand instinctively finding his. This is your quirk. The library contained records of these sovereigns. They weren't just names. They were figures of myth and history, now cast in a terrifying new light. There was a conqueror from the Warring States period of Japan who united the country in a single, impossibly fast campaign. His armies fighting with a supernatural coordination. The Ascendants. Records showed him surrounded by a fiercely loyal cadre of generals, his chorus.
That
There
has
was the
trident.
Keys,
No,
Asiatic
thank
figure in
you.
medieval Europe who inspired a peasant crusade that toppled kingdoms, her followers imbued with a faith so strong they were said to be immune to pain. The Ascendants saw her not as a saint, but as a sovereign. An artist from the Renaissance whose patrons became so fanatically devoted they built a secret empire around his vision. A revolutionary leader
No,
who
that's a
toppled a
rat.
continent span,
Fucking
king
hate
empire
rats.
with the sheer force of his charisma. With each entry they uncovered, the team grew more silent.
Fuck you,
This was
Ruckus.
not a story of heroes or villains. It was a biological cycle. And the records also detailed the Ascendants' role in that cycle. They were, as Zealot had claimed, the cure. An ancient order, passing down their sacred duty through generations, from the dawn of quirks and perhaps even before. They saw themselves as the guardians of human free will. Their creed was simple. The sovereign's power, no matter how benevolent the wielder, would inevitably lead to a global cult of personality. It would end individual ambition and subsume all of humanity into a single, collective will. To the Ascendants, this was a spiritual extinction, a fate worse than any war. And so, with every appearance of a sovereign, they would rise. They would hunt. They would perform what their texts called the Great Excision, eradicating the sovereign and their entire chorus to reset the cycle and praise it. RVE mankind's freedom to choose its own destiny. They're not terrorists, Suyu stated, her voice a low, thoughtful croak. They're crusaders. They've been fighting this same war for centuries. We're just the next chapter. The final piece of the puzzle clicked into place when Momo isolated a recurring genetic marker in the data. It was a complex double helix of code that was present in every sovereign they had on record. On a hunch, she cross-referenced it with the DNA sample UA had on file for Izuku. A single word flashed on the screen in stark, red letters: match. The room was silent. Izuku stared at the screen, at the long, bloody history of his predecessors. He wasn't just a boy with a powerful quirk. He was the latest incarnation of a world-altering force. He
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, hang on a second. Yeah, did she pick up? JD called Annie.
Okay.
Just ask her if her phone is working, that's all.
Just ask her if her phone is working.
Yep.
Okay, I'll just go. Is she home? Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm just gonna be ending it here for today. Gonna take a break until my friend gets back. Till my friend gets on. Bye!